Hello, I am Camila Gonzalez and I'm going to do the final exam. Reading aloud. Friend, if you make such a fuss as this simply because you find yourself in a bog, what would you do if you lived here all the time as we do? What is the name of the story? The name of the story is The Ass and the Frog. Who said this in the story? The frog. Why did the character say so? Because the ass was groaning and making so much loud. Is this an important event in the story and why? Yes, it is important because it is part of the moral. Retell the story as from the beginning. An ass was carrying some wood when he stumbled and fell in water. He was running and the frogs heard him and they told him what would he do if he had to live there in the water as they do. Theory. Provide the complete description of these sounds. Include the way in which each one is articulated. J. The sound J is voiceless. It is palato-alveolar and is an affricate. It is voiceless because the vocal cords do not vibrate. It is palato-alveolar because there is a closure made between the tip, blade, and rim of the tongue and the upper alveolar ridge. Now we have the sound da, which is voiced dental fricative. It is voiced because when we make the sound, the vocal cords vibrate. It is dental because the tip and rims of the tongue make a light contact with the edge and inner surface of the upper incisors and a firmer contact with the upper side teeth. Now we have the vowel A, which is a short vowel, which the center of the tongue is raised just above the fully open position. There is a considerable separation of the jaws and lips are neutrally open. Now we have the vowel sound O, which is a closed mid front vowel. The front of the tongue is raised between the closed mid and open mid position. Lips are loosely spread and slightly wide apart. Read aloud this description phonemically written. After you read each one, provide the complete name of the sound using all the variables to refer to them. Read aloud one example word from the text. The glade begins in a low position, between front and center, moving up and slightly forward towards a high front position. The sound we have here is the closing diphthong I, which is a voiced vowel. The example word is find. To make this sound, the airflow passes through the mouth and meets a partial closure between the blade of the tongue and the alveolar ridge. Because of this closure, the air escapes along the sides of the tongue. The center of the tongue is raised and the sides are pulled down. This is a voiced sound. The sound we have here is the la approximant consonant, which is voiced, lateral, alveolar, and linis. And the example word is simply. Reading aloud. My wallet, I might have left it in my jacket. Isn't the silliest thing to do? Questions. What is the name of the story? The name of the story is The Umbrella Man. What moment of the story is it? In this moment, the man saw the girl and the mother for the very first time, and he asked them for some money. Why did the character do so? Well, he did that because he needed money. Is this an important event in the story and why? Yes, it is an important event in the story because it's the moment when the man cheated on the girls. Retell the most unexpected event in the story. Well, the most unexpected event in the story is when the girl and her mother saw the man spending the money in a drink. Describe these sounds included in some words in the extract. Wa. The sound wa is a semi-vowel, linear, bilabial, and voiced sound. It is articulated by the tongue, assuming the position for a back closed mid to a closed vowel. Lips are rounded and the soft palate is raised, and the vocal cords vibrate. Now we have the sound na, which is velar, nasal, voiced, linear consonant. A closure is formed the mouth between the back of the tongue and the velum. The soft palate is lowered and vocal cords vibrate, and sound does not go out with much force. Classify the words in red. Discuss their pronunciation in terms of strong and weak forms. Must have left. In this context, must have is in weak form. They are functioning as auxiliary verbs. They both are function words. Isn't that the silly thing to do? In this case, both are strong because that is a demonstrative pronoun, and do is closing the question and is functioning as a main verb and not as an auxiliary verb. And in this case, both are content words. Read aloud this description phonemically written. Provide the complete name of the sound using all the variables to refer to them. Read aloud one example word from the text. This is a glottal consonant. The narrowing that produced the friction noise is between the vocal cords. It is production in different contexts. It usually caused because between vowels, these consonants always adapts the quality of the vowel it precedes, and this onset sound is voiceless. The sound we have here is the ha, which is a glottal fricative, voiceless and 40 sound, and the example word is hap.